So this is pretty awesome. I'm getting ready for the next video where the OBS is back in the garage here for more AC work. And I know I mentioned in a previous video that Rock Auto quit putting the little magnets for other people's cars in the orders. And I was kind of bummed because I've got a few already and I like my collection. And I go to open this box from Rock Auto and I pop it open and I get a stack of them. There's like 4. It's like they heard me. That's awesome. I wonder if there's any in that one. So, I don't know. I thought it was funny. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. As you can see, the OBS is back. I know we did a lot of work on the air conditioner and we've made progress. It's now holding and it's not leaking anywhere, but it's just not working very well. I'm not getting very good cooling at all. So we're going to reevaluate what we've done and try to figure out why. So let's dive into it and see what's going on. So as you guys know, if you followed the previous videos, we've basically replaced everything in the air conditioner system of this truck from front to back. The condenser, the lines, the compressor, the dryer, the evaporator, all of it, the entire thing. And it works. It does. It makes cool air, but not very cool. The plus side is, though, we're not leaking anywhere. This has been for about 6 weeks now. And I used a little flashlight and checked, and none of the fittings are glowing. Everything is good. It just doesn't cool very well. And I think I kind of have an idea why, and that's what we're going to dig into next and see if we can fix it. So let's have a look at what I've bought and my plan and see what happens. So me being a novice at automotive air conditioning, I was just kind of learning as I went. As a lot of us do with these older vehicles, we just kind of tinker and figure it out. I was trying to be very mindful to make sure that anytime I removed a part, I added oil back to the system to make sure that it wasn't low. And I think from my research and what's going on, I think I overdid that. I think it has too much oil in it. And from what I've read, if you have too much oil in the system, it can coat the inside of the heat transfer surfaces like the condenser and the evaporator and cause them, it basically insulates it and causes them not to work the way they're supposed to. So that I think is the main problem, but we're going to address a couple of other things while we're in there and hopefully get this thing working. See, right now I'm getting, in the last video, I was getting about a 20-degree drop across the system for air coming in versus air going out. And it's working, but that's not really optimal. And then the heat came. This is South Texas. It gets hot quick. It's already in the 90s. And the heat came, and I'm only getting about 10 degrees across the coils, which is really rough when you're sitting in traffic. And on top of that, my truck specifically did not come with the air conditioner controls that has the max option. Mine just has AC on and off, and it's supposed to be intelligent. It's supposed to turn on the max option, which is just setting it to recirculate and high fan. After about 30 seconds, whenever you're just sitting with the air on, it's supposed to do that. Mine doesn't. I've gotten it to do it a few times, so I know it works. There's no way to reliably get it to do that. So number one on the list is I've ordered a new air conditioner controller that has the max option. It was a bit expensive at about $100, $120. But if I can get it to go to max in this heat, then I think it'll be worth it. And now I'm going to show you what else I picked up and my plan to try to get this thing going. So I went ahead and picked up another dryer. They're cheap. And I know I was using compressed just shop air in previous videos to try to find my leak. And that probably oversaturated this thing. And then I've also read that if you go too high on the oil, it'll saturate this as well and cause it not to work. And since they're about $20, I went ahead and got another one of those. I also picked up a new condenser. This one specifically is from a 97 and higher pickup, which has what they call a parallel flow. The one on the truck is a little newer from a 94, I think. And the reason I went newer on that one was to move the orifice tube out here into the grill and not in the firewall. But this one is a serpentine flow. And from what I've read, the parallel flow works better, especially in a converted system, because from my research, R134 does not have the same cooling capacity and power as R12. It's not as strong. So it needs more surface area to dissipate its heat, and that's where this comes in. So this should be a fairly close drop-in. I may have to mess with the rubber grommets a little bit, but we had to do that on the one that's in there already, so it's not a big deal. If you go back and watch the other videos, we've already had to do that. So this should be basically a drop-in. I've also got a new orifice tube. I don't know if there's anything wrong with the one that's in there, but this one came with something I bought before, maybe that other condenser, but I'm not really sure. The one that's in there, I bought it specifically because it claimed to be a 2-stage that's supposed to help cooling whenever you're not going very fast, and it's not working. So I'm going to change it out to this one, which is just a standard replacement orifice tube. And then inside the system, or as I replace all of this stuff, I'm going to blow out everything I can with compressed air. So this condenser is going to be swapped, and I'm not putting any more oil in. I'm going to replace the dryer with no more oil. I'm going to blow out the evaporator and the lines associated with that without adding any oil. I'm going to see how much I get out of the system, compare that to what's supposed to be like 5 to 8 ounces total. I think there should be that much just in the compressor. I don't want to remove the compressor and drain it because that is a big pain in the ass, but I will if I have to. I'm trying to see how much comes out. If I can get 4 or 5 ounces out of this thing just from blowing everything out and replacing parts, then I will feel better about it. And the main reason I feel like I went a little overboard is because I've put probably 8 ounces of oil into this. 4 or 5 went into the compressor alone when I replaced that. And then after the fact, not a whole lot come out of the old one. And that's the only thing I can come up with to be the problem. Because I literally have everything new. Compressor, hoses, orifice tube, evaporator, condenser, all of it. And it was within the proper ranges for pressures. Everything's cycling the way it's supposed to. The fan's blowing. The evaporator's not clogged up. The heater core is not clogged up. It's just not working. And that's the only thing that's left that I can come up with, is it's just low on oil, or too much oil, and it's causing problems. And then changing out this condenser for the parallel flow hopefully will give me a little bit more, and then getting the max button on the AC controls should get me that much more, and then hopefully it'll be an acceptable level. Hopefully. Because the problem I have right now is the Eugene needs to go to the dealership. See, I started having problems with the clock spring in Eugene. And I started taking videos of that. I was showing you guys what it's doing because it was being really weird. Like it would light up the airbag light when I turn corners and things like that. But then I found out that it's under warranty. 15 years, unlimited miles. Mopar extended the warranty on the clock springs on the JK. So I'm just going to let them deal with it because it's way cheaper than me doing it. But the thing is, I need a reliable vehicle with air conditioning for 3 or 4 days while they have my Jeep. And the Jeep is my daily, so I've got to get this thing fixed. I have to. The Vets can't be driven in the rain, and it's gotten so hot now that if I get stuck in traffic, I just have to stop because it's going to overheat. That's another thing on the list for future videos, is replacing the fan setup, the shroud and fans on the Vet in the near future, because it does not do good in the heat. But right now we got to get the OBS fixed so we can get the Jeep in the shop and have a reliable daily, and that's what we're going to do. So let's get started. All right, getting started on the OBS. I took advantage of the day. It's overcast and stormy, and it's dropped probably 10 or 15 degrees, so it's warm, but it's not hot. So I'm going to work on this thing. I've already pulled the grill because we got to get to this condenser, and I've already pulled the hood latch and this core support here, because that goes over the middle right here. In the last video we did this in, you saw me take all of that off. So next will be a couple of bolts here at the top, some 10 millis. Be able to pull that condenser off. Got to undo the lines here on the side. And then we will see how this new one fits. I may test drive it first and make sure it's not just completely the wrong size. Let's do that first. Let's grab this thing. So that would be bad. Yeah, I gotta cut the, hang on, let me get some scissors. All right, it should go in there this way. Let's kind of set it in place. Looks pretty close. It's not all the way down because it's got to go into those little rubber feet right there. But it looks like it'll fit. I think it'll be good. The hoses line up pretty good over here. All right, I'm gonna pull the old one off and drop the new one in. All right, we got the old condenser out. Get a good look here. The biggest thing I can tell is the fins are a lot bigger on this one. And then the pipes that flow through it seem to be a lot bigger. So you can see here. And it looks like they split and run two of them. You can see in there. So that's probably, I don't know how that works. But this one, much smaller fins with much smaller flow through area. It should be more surface area because the fins are smaller and there's a ton more of them. So hopefully that helps with the cooling aspect of it. So I'm going to throw this one in. Hopefully those mounts work the way they're supposed to. I had a heck of a time getting this line out. I guess the hose that was in there is just slightly too big. I really had to fight to get that one out. So hopefully it goes back into this one without getting marred up or anything. I'm going to go ahead and replace the seals. I've already pulled the seals off. They're over here. Get that switched out and put back together. And then we're going to switch out the dryer. And while we have the dryer off, we will blow out the evaporator that's under the dash. And then we'll be good. Start putting things back together. I'm going to blow out the lines too. I think I can use one of these lines to blow, because one of them goes directly to this one. This one goes directly to that evaporator. So I can blow from it and the stuff will come out right here where I can catch it after I get the dryer out of the way, and that'll clear out that line as well. So that's what we'll do. All right, more work. All right, it seems to fit pretty good. It just sits right in those rubber mounts. It's not super secure, but I don't think it's not gonna rub on anything. I think it's good. Got new seals on that line, that line. Can't forget to put the orifice tube in. That goes in there, and you just kind of, well, I'm supposed to smush it in there, but may need to put a little oil or something on the rubber O-ring here to just let it slide a little better. Lube it up. All right. Put a little AC oil on it. That's concerning, because it's not supposed to be that hard. It slid right into the other one. So let me do some research. All right, we got the dryer off. It had a lot of oil in it. I did the air compressor here and pushed out. I know it's kind of like foamy on top, but it's probably 4 ounces of oil so far. It had a lot in it, which leads me to believe that I was right. So what I'm going to do next is use my air compressor here and that'll feed all the way to the bottom side of the evaporator. And then I may try to get the air compressor to here, because feeding it, pressing it from the top down probably would be better. I'll need to loosen that hose a little bit so I can like clock it. So I may put the air there and put the catch can down here. So yeah, but then got to get everything buttoned back up. Got to move this sensor over to the new dryer, put that back in. But I'm going to do that last so that I make sure all the hoses are connected and there's no outside air, minimize outside air contact. And then we'll be able to put all of this back together and start vacuuming it down, see what happens. I'm going to clean all of these like we have in previous videos with that gun cleaner to make sure there's no residual. Oh, I ended up breaking the orifice tube trying to get it to go in. Like, it broke. So I just took the one that was in there. It was kind of dirty. It had some black stuff on it, which may have been from that old compressor going out. But I cleaned it up real good with some brake clean and was able to get it in there with a couple of taps of a hammer. Got that thing in there, and now I'm gonna blow out this other line and then reverse everything, hopefully. All right. I was able to use a little piece of hose, stuff it into that line up there, connect my air compressor, and then put a cup down here. I didn't get much out of that side, just maybe not even a half an ounce, just some residual. So I went ahead and connected everything over here and tightened it all up, and then sprayed it with the cleaner. Got it all clean. Before I put the grill on though, I'm going to hit it with that flashlight and make sure that it's not glowing, so we know for sure if it does start glowing, it's a leak. Next is going to be moving that sensor over on the dryer and then installing the dryer again with new seals, new rubber O-rings. We'll get that going. And then that's pretty much it. I'm still waiting on that controller for the dash. It's actually supposed to be here tomorrow, Tuesday, instead of Friday. So hopefully I can get that thrown in this week as well. So that would be awesome. All right, continue moving forward. Making really good progress. So that's all buttoned up. Like I said earlier, that's good. Got the dryer reinstalled back in the bracket. Plug in the sensor there. Everything's tight there. I still got to clean those fittings to make sure nothing's yellow already. Go ahead and hook that thing back up. And then we can start doing the vacuum. Close my valves up. Get everything ready. All right. Clean that stuff real quick. Hit the flashlight on it, make sure nothing's glowy. And then while it's doing the vacuum process, I'll go ahead and put all of this back together. It's pretty straightforward. So get the grill and everything put back together. Hopefully we won't have to mess with this. I may wait on the grill. I may just put that brace of that thing back on there for the hood latch. All right, I'm gonna clean those up, get the vacuum out, get started. It's not super dark in here, but you can see like over here where it's sprayed, and there's nothing on the actual fittings. I need to clean back there a little bit better just to make sure. But yeah, I made a mess over here. Hang on, let's clean that up. Get under here, under that one, all of that. That one over there. All over my headlight. This gun cleaner stuff is expensive, and I'm using all of it on this. And there was a little bit still on the top of the dryer. I got that. And then everything's clean over here. So we're good. It's just these. I think we're good now. All right, I'm gonna get the vacuum set up. Get some light going again. See what happens. First initial vacuum has commenced. Pulling down pretty quick. I'm not going to run it for a long time. I'm just going to bottom it out to -30 and then seal it up and just let it sit for like 10-15 minutes and make sure there's no obvious large leaks, which should lose vacuum in that amount of time. So let it run a couple of more minutes and then seal it up and see what happens. And hopefully if that goes well and it holds, then we'll do a full, like a 30-minute vacuum and then let it ride for an hour. I'll tell you what, this dome light, it takes so much juice. It always runs my battery down, and I forgot to pull the bulb out before we started, and now it's hotter than the sun and I can't get a towel in there to get a hold of it. So I need to move it to an LED, but whatever. All right, I'm gonna let this run, like I said, a couple more minutes and then seal it off, see what happens. I'll let you guys know. First round did bleed off slightly, so I went around and just kind of snugged everything up that I had disconnected. Did it again. So we're set now right on that line, so we'll check it in 15 minutes and see what's going on. I mean, I don't know how, if it does lose a little bit, if that's okay or not. I don't want it to. I want it to be completely sealed. That's the way it was the last time. But you know, you've got so many fittings like these. I don't know how secure these are, really, you know. So we'll see. There's no pressure in it, so I can't use the flashlight to see where the leak is. It's all vacuum, so it's not going to push out any oil to give me any type of an indication as to where to look. That's why I was using the compressed air last time, but that just loads up the system with water. So, all right, I'll let it set for a little while longer. Just a quick update for you guys. I've been out here probably over an hour now messing with this thing. I'm stumped. It wasn't holding vacuum. It would pull a vacuum, but then it would slowly release. So I went through and checked all the connections, made sure everything was tight, and then I went through and replaced seals and things like that. And I thought it would be better, but now it's so bad it won't even pull a vacuum. Like it's pulling air. The vacuum pump is moving air, but it's not registering. It's such a bad leak now that it won't even register vacuum. So I've pulled these connections and replaced both the seals on those. I've pulled both the connections on the dryer back there, replaced the seals on those. Those are the only ones that I disconnected during this process. Unless maybe that dryer has like a pinhole leak or something, I don't know. And I really won't know until I compress the system with the oil or with the UV dye. And I don't want to sacrifice a can of Freon to do that. It's very frustrating. It's very hot. But I've got to keep going. Nobody else can fix it but me, so I'm going to keep plugging along, see what I can find. Just wanted to give you guys an update. Well guys, I am I am stumped. I don't know what's going on. I've went through this system and replaced every seal again. I made sure everything was tight. I even resorted back to the air compressor, pressurized air thing with a spray bottle of soapy water. Nothing. It won't hold any pressure at all. It immediately bleeds off. It won't pull vacuum and immediately bleeds off. It's got what seems like a very large leak. And I can't find it. I can't find it. It's getting late today. I've got work in the morning. So I need to get in there and get cleaned up. So I'm going to have to wait. I really, really wanted this to be fairly quick because, like I said earlier in the video, I need to get this thing going so that I can take the Jeep to the dealership to get it fixed. And it's not working. I don't know what's going on. Really, like I said, I put the old dryer back on. That didn't do any good. Really, the only thing I haven't done is went back to the old condenser. It didn't have any visible damage from shipping or anything, so I don't think it was leaking. It actually had pressure. They shipped it with pressure in it. Like, it had rubber seals under the caps, and whenever I opened those, it bled off. So I feel like it works, unless I somehow punched a hole in it, putting it back in. But anyway, that's where we're at. It's not working. I'll have to revisit, so we'll see. Got to figure it out. All right, we're back out here on this thing. I've got an idea. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I have that smoke machine that I bought for the Jeep to check the evap stuff. So I'm going to disconnect the lines here and connect the smoke machine and just plug the other side and see if I can get some smoke out of somewhere. It may ruin the dryer, but at this point I got to find this leak, so it's worth the sacrifice. Worst case scenario, I somehow managed to break the welds where this connects to the evaporator, because it seems pretty wobbly, but that could just be the evaporator wobbling in there. So if smoke starts coming out inside the cab, we know we got big problems. So that means I got to take the whole freaking dash out again. I really hope that's not the problem, but I can't find a leak anywhere else. So I'm going to set up for that. I'm going to do the condenser first because I can just do it by itself, and then I'll turn around and do the system. So let me get set up and then we'll check it out. All right, I got these lines disconnected. I got this thing connected to the battery here. Got the line plugged in here. So I'm going to start it up and let it run until smoke comes out this end. And then I've got a plug, a rubber plug here I can put on it to seal it off. And see if any smoke comes out anywhere. Like I said, I don't think it's the condenser because it was shipped sealed with pressure and it released that pressure when I opened it up. So I think it's good, but we're going to find out. Once this thing starts smoking. Hopefully it's still got juice in it. Yeah, it's putting out a little bit. Alright, I don't see any smoke anywhere. Seems to be building some pretty good pressure. I'm having to hold pretty tight. Yeah, it's not that, for sure. All right, so we're going to reverse this. We're going to connect to these two lines and go the other way, kind of like this. I have to find something to plug that other side. All right, change of plans. So, like I said, this condenser was shipped sealed and pressurized, so I've still got the seal and the cap. So I'm going to cap one side, and then I just have to connect the smoke to the one line, and it'll do the entire system. And then that being capped off, so I'm going to put this one back on, and then cap here, and then feed it through there, so it'll be the entire system, I think. See how that works. All right, so I got the system capped off. I'm feeding the smoke in now. See where it comes out at. It's building a little pressure. It's making smoke. I guess let's open this side back up and let it let smoke come out the other end to make sure the whole system's smoked. Not even building pressure. Okay, so I'm seeing the smoke. It's coming out of the bottom port of the evaporator. I never touched that line. I never messed with that line. So I don't know why it's pouring out down there. But I guess I'm going to undo that fitting and see what's going on. Hopefully it's just a bad seal, because it's pouring out of there. Turn this thing off. We can go have a look. Yeah, back there. Let me see if there's any in the cab, because if it's in the cab, then it's the evaporator. Yep, it's all in the cab. Worst case scenario, this is not good. So I open the door here, and you can still kind of see the smoke. It was all in the floorboard. You can see it there. It looks like I somehow damaged the evaporator. I don't understand how. Like I said, I didn't even mess with this line down here. But it's letting smoke out down there. This must be more sealed, and it's broke up here and pushing out down there. That absolutely sucks. So now I got to pull the dash again and replace the evaporator again. I'm not doing a full video on that. I'll just do it and then pick back up once I get it fixed. This is not good. All right, guys, I'm going to pull the dryer off so I can recap it, so that it doesn't get moisture in it, because I've still got the caps that go on it, so I don't have to get a new dryer. And then order an evaporator and deal with that, and then pick you guys back up when I'm ready to vacuum the system and refill it. So unfortunately, this is a big project again. This is really, really bad. All right. See you guys. I mean, for you to just be a second, but for me it'll be probably a couple of weeks. I'm dreading this. I'm dreading it a lot. Here we go. Well, at least on the plus side, I did get the AC controls with the max button, and they look really good. The buttons are nice and bright. There's not any clear coming off of them. 3 of the 4 holes are good. I'm really happy with that. That's in really good shape. Need to clean the contacts a little bit, but that's really, really good shape. Cool. At least that went right. All right, guys, we're back out here on the truck. The parts finally came in. I've been procrastinating a lot because I know this is going to be a absolute horrible job because I've done it before. I've been debating on just cutting the dash. I know a lot of people have done that before. They just basically cut a hole in the air box, pull the evaporator out, and then plastic glue it back together. I've been thinking about doing that because it'll save a lot of time, but this interior is so immaculate for 35 years old. It's really, really going to hurt me to cut it because you can see part of it under the dash. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So we got our parts here. We got our new evaporator, and they actually sent 2 more orifice tubes. I don't know why you need so many, but that's good because we broke the one last time and I had to use the old one. So got another orifice tube to drop in there, a couple of seals. They did send me another magnet. I guess they heard me. This time, though, it wasn't in the box. It was in where the, oh, dang, I gotta get way up there on this one. It was in with the packing slip, like the invoice, but I found it. So we got that. I still got the dryer. I went ahead and plugged it back up so that it wouldn't get moisture all in it. We got our new HVAC controls. I haven't tried out yet, but I hope they work. That would suck if they didn't. So let's look at this dash. Had to move things around. Had to get the golf cart out of here so I could actually use it. So in here, the evaporator is basically behind this arch part right here, in this whole section, all the way down. And it sticks out the bottom down here, right here. So from what I've seen online, people are just cutting this out all the way down to that seam and then pulling the bottom off, cutting it down here, and then just pulling the evap out. But I can't find a good video that shows the whole process. I'm just kind of going by bits and pieces, so I don't know how to get it out with the dash so close right here. I mean, once you undo all of that, how much back can it go before it's got to go down? And then, like I said, I mean, this interior is amazing, especially for as old as it is. I've had to change a few little things like this halo, but for the most part, it's great. And I really don't want you to be able to see the big cut right here. Even though it's not front and center, it's still... It's going to hurt me to cut this interior. It really is. Because I mean. But anyway, that's the decision I got to make. So like I said, I've already done this job once. I've already put a video up about this once. So I'm not going to video it again. It's hot. It's going to be miserable. I'm going to be sweaty. I'm going to have dirt in my eyes. It's going to suck. So I will pick back up with you guys once I get the new evaporator in and get everything put back together and we're ready to start charging the system again. That's where we'll pick back up. So for now, it'll just be a few seconds for you guys, but for now, for me, it'll be probably a week. I'll see you then. Y'all have a good one. All right, I know the fan's going, it's a little loud, but I started by swapping out, I'm swapping out the AC control. So I got the old one, the original one out, and I just wanted to make sure, double check the plug back here. So this is the new one on this side, and it looks to be the same. 4 pins, 3 pins, 5 pins. All right, so that looks like it's going to work. I'm going to go ahead and get that swapped out. I got a little bit of the dash apart. I figured I'm going to have to do this anyway, so I might as well change that out while I'm in there. At least get something going the right direction, you know. So I'm going to throw this one in. I'll hit the key, make sure everything lights up, and then move on to the next step. Fun. Still making some progress, making some messes. I got all the cables or the hoses disconnected back here along with the heater hoses. Made a little bit of a mess, not too bad. Went ahead and reconnected the condenser up here. put one of the new orifice tubes in, got new seals on both of those, got those tightened up. So that's put back together. I'm not going to put the grill back on until I can get some pressure in the system and make sure I don't need to snug those. Man, it's hot. It looks like I'm going to try my best to pull the dash back far enough to get the box back out, because when I put it together, I used like black RTV to put the two halves together. And with the cut method, you don't really have to open that up. But I want to do it right. I don't want to tear up the interior of this truck. As nice as it is, but I don't want to spend a week doing it either. It took a long time last time. But anyway, still debating on that. But I did get the AC controls installed. They seem to work. Turned the key on, the fan blew, things like that. I think I roasted my battery, unfortunately. So I've had it on the charger for like a week, and it still starts slow. So I accidentally left the door open. I pulled the light out of there because that one was going to run the battery down. But I accidentally left this door open the last time I worked on the truck, and I left it for like 4 or 5 days. So the interior lights drained the battery to flat. So I put it on the charger. And the other day I tried to mess with it, and it was at like 9 volts. And it wasn't really going up after a few days. That's not right. So I got the truck started, let it idle for a little while, put it back on there. It was up to 11, so maybe it's salvageable. We'll have to see. I may have to get another battery. I think I may have got a couple of dead cells in that one. But anyway, I'm going to cut it off now. Getting long-winded, jibber jabber, as they say. So I'm going to get back to plugging along at this thing and let you guys know when we're ready to refill it. I cannot wait for air conditioning. It's so hot. All right, guys. Have a good one. What's up, guys? Trying to take advantage of a rain-cooled day. Didn't work out. I'm soaked because it's hot out here in the garage, but been working on the OBS, trying to get this thing back on the road. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update. I said I wasn't going to record the dash removal and everything because I've already done a video on that. So I just wanted to, I'm halfway basically. I got the old one out, got the new one going in. I just wanted to show you guys where we're at. So just check it out. All right, so the old box came out. If you watched the other video, you saw that I put it back together with black like RTV. That was a mistake. It took a little bit of effort to get them back apart. When I put it back together last time, I did not anticipate having to take it back apart. So that's on me. Got the new evaporator, gluing the seals back on here, letting that dry. Need to put the lid back on my glue there. So it's a bit of chaos. Had to take the heater core out, had to take the speaker pods out, a little bit of the dash, a lot of bit of the dash. I didn't take nearly as much stuff apart this time as I did the first time around. I just kind of pulled it out as far as I could and wiggled it out. I'm probably going to have a hell of a time getting it back in there. But we'll see how that goes. I may have to call for some backup. But I had to remove a few things under the hood, the coolant tank here to get to all the bolts. Everything's out. We got the old one here, and I can show you what broke. So I was messing with this threaded end here whenever everything went south. And if pointed at the light here and let you look, you can see right there, it broke between those ribs. I figured it would have broke out here somewhere if I was cranking on this too much, but I guess it went that way and broke. So have to be careful putting it back in. I know how I did it. I did it trying to fight the dryer back into place, because the dryer has this little curved pipe right here that goes from that condenser top to the dryer right here. And I was trying to get this in, and this pipe was in the way like this, so I kind of like pulled it out to get it around, and that's when I broke it. So I got to be real careful putting that back in place. But we are making some progress. Like I said, it's about halfway. I don't know if I'm going to try to put it back tonight. I'm hot, I'm sweaty, and I'm hungry. So I may go find some food let this sit and work on it maybe tomorrow. I really want to get this thing back on the road, but I got the Jeep fixed. Come to find out, it was a warranty item. They extended the clock spring warranty out to like 15 years unlimited miles. So I was able to get the dealer to do it for free. So we don't have to worry about that. Oh, I also got a new orifice tube, because I was reading online when I was procrastinating taking this dash apart, and saw some threads of people talking about a extreme use, extreme duty orifice tube. And it's designed for environments that have extremely high ambient temperatures, like in close to the 100 range. And I know it's not that hot all the time here, but it's South Texas. There are days where it's mid to high 90s into the hundreds. So I figured it wouldn't hurt. I've been comparing it to the one that came out. The seals seem to line up there. It's a little bit longer, but I think I've got enough room in the line there to put it in. It seems to be the same diameter, so it should go right in. I had already put a fresh one in here, but it was just a basic normal, may even been an R12, because it came with the evaporator. I don't know why. I don't know why they sent orifice tubes with the evaporator, but they did. So I'm going to switch this one out in there. It goes in this tube here. Plus, like I said, I've got the controllers with the max option. So the controllers with the max option, the high ambient temperature orifice tube, an evaporator that doesn't have a hole in it, and significantly less oil in the system. I'm trying to be optimistic. I hope it cools like an ice box. Like, I want icicles off the vents because it is hot in Texas. Anyway, I want to get back to it. Just check quick check in, and thank you guys for hanging out with me. Let's get started. All right, guys, just wanted to give you guys a quick update. Like I said before, I'm not going to record the entire thing with this airbox because I've done this before, but I had some trouble. I had a heck of a time getting the box back into the dash, mostly because this part here is very heavy. I was working by myself, trying not to pull the dash out too far, trying to get everything to line up. The studs that go into the dash aren't, they're set into plastic, so they can kind of bend a little bit. So I actually give up on it after I broke my console lid, or my glove box lid, which is very unfortunate because this one was in pretty good shape for its age, and they're expensive. I got another one coming, but it was like 60 bucks. So anyway, I come back out today, second try, got the thing to stab, got the box in, got some bolts started on that side, got started putting it all back together in here. I got all the bolts back in here. I got the coolant reservoir back in. I got the bracket for the dryer. So my plan is now to go ahead and reconnect all of the air conditioner stuff. I'm going to put the dryer back in, connect it to the evaporator, connect the line from the condenser to the other end of the evaporator, and I can go ahead and pull a vacuum on the system and let it cycle, let it hold while I do all the other crap inside the cab, because that's going to take a while. But I've already replaced the new orifice tube I showed you guys. That guy's in here. That's the one that's for the high ambient temp. So these are reconnected and sealed up. So that's all good. The compressor I haven't done anything with, so it should still be sealed up and good. I've just got to reinstall the dryer, the two lines, the dryer that goes to the evaporator and then out of the evaporator. So all of that stuff back there. I'm going to work on that now. It's getting to be a mess in here. I spilled a lot of coolant with the heater hoses off, so I'll have to address that. But yeah, I'm making progress. It's just it's slow and it's hot, but I'll get there. So we're on the back side of it. We're on the put it back together side, which is the good side. We're on the clean side. If you live in hurricane country, we're on the clean side. So yeah, all right. I'll update again once I get a little more progress. Thank you guys for hanging out. Progress check again. Got the dryer installed and connected. Got all the lines reconnected. That one down there, just down at the bottom, that guy right down there, that thing is a pain to get to. Pain. But it's on. New seals everywhere. Everything's tight. We're pulling a vacuum and holding it, which is progress. I'm excited. Trying to be. I really don't want to have to deal with putting this dash back together, but as long as we're moving forward, I guess we're good. So I'm going to let this pull for probably 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then I'm going to shut it off and let it ride for like an hour. Make sure it holds vacuum. So we don't want to remake of the last few videos where we thought it held vacuum and it didn't. So let this run while I work on the interior. And what time is it? 10:30. So 30 minutes, we'll check it again. All right. All right, it's been about 30 minutes. I went ahead and shut off the pump, sealed up all the valves. I'm going to get a good read here. It's -30 on both sides, dead on, looking good. All right, so I'm going to let it set, like I said, for probably an hour. Maybe a little longer, it depends on what else I get into. But I'm just going to let it sit because I really want it to be good this time. So I want to set a timer for an hour and check it back then, and I'll update you, see what happens. More progress has been made. I got the driver's side floorboard area put all back together, got the speakers back in, got the panel back in, got the gauge for the air shocks back connected. All that is done. This has been going, it's been sitting for almost an hour, about 2 minutes shy of an hour, and it is dead on -30. I'm really, really, really happy to see that. That means I can start filling it up. So let's go around to the other side and see how much. I've still got to put this on the air box. I've still got to put this side together, but I didn't want to cover all of this stuff up until I knew the air conditioner was going to work correctly, because all the relays for the AC is here, and there's a bunch of wire connectors and such. Once I know the AC comes on and works, then I can start putting this back together and then fill the system. So more progress. Feeling good about it. Couple more hours and I should be good. All right, it's going to be a little loud because the truck's running, but the first can I put in I had used just a little bit of it, so it wasn't a full can. I put 2 more cans in, so we got almost 3 cans total, 36 ounces, so probably more like 32 ounces. The low side pressure, a little on the low side, is right at 40. The high side's bouncing around pretty good. It's pretty hot in here. It's like 90, like 95 in here. So those numbers will be a little higher, need to be a little higher because of the heat. But if I come over here, the truck's been running for a little while. With the new AC controller, I'm getting almost a 40-degree drop. So out here, this is just ambient temperature in the room, and I'm getting 56 out of the vents. That's pretty good. It's way more than I've ever gotten before. So if I close up this window and close the door, it'll probably go a lot lower once it starts recirculating. I'm gonna let it run for about 5 minutes and see how cool we can get it to get. So far it's looking pretty good. The pump's not making any noise or anything, so I don't think it's low on oil. What's supposed to be cold is cold. What's supposed to be hot is hot. I'm really excited now. I might have air conditioner, so we'll see. I got the fan going so that I get the exhaust out of here so I don't die. But all right. All right, I went in for about 10 minutes, 15 minutes to eat my lunch. Come back out, had the truck running with AC full blast. It feels amazing in here. Look at this, 72, 46. It was 72 until I opened the door. still 30-degree drop, even at that cold. I mean, that's pretty good, like for a 35-year-old truck. And that's at idle, sitting still in a hot garage. That's no airflow over the condenser or anything. So, I think it's good. I really do. Let's double check the pressures. I might need to add just a couple of more ounces. Those pressures typically go up the hotter it is. Yeah, it's done got way lower. It's down to 30 now. I'm gonna double check on the internet to make sure I know which one I'm supposed to be, which pressures I'm supposed to be at, because there's so much false information everywhere. But I think I need to add just a smidge more Freon, and then we'll be good. So I'm gonna check that out and then start putting this stuff back together. This is awesome. Well guys, I don't know if you caught it in the last couple of videos. This heat's getting to me because I just now realized that I had my original AC controls in here. This one is the one with the max button. The one I had in there didn't have max. So we were getting 30 to 40 degree temperature drop across the system without the max button. So I'm really excited now. Piecing the dash back together here. We'll put all this back together and then hopefully be able to drive it this afternoon. But yeah, I'm gonna put this one in with the max button that the other one doesn't have, and hopefully it works just as good. All right, quite a bit more progress. Got the radio reinstalled and everything reconnected. The dash is all put back together. This is all put back together, the kick panel with the speakers. I haven't put the glove box back in yet because there was a couple of casualties associated with this area, so I wanted to go through that real quick. Kind of the risks involved with working on vehicles or working on any vehicle, but specifically the ones this old, because it's hard to find replacement parts. You can't just go buy a new one. So unfortunately, as we know, I broke the evaporator. That wasn't too bad. You can get those pretty regularly. They're, new in box parts, no big deal. Unfortunately, I smashed one of the door, like the dome light switches. It ripped this plastic piece on the top. You can kind of see right here. I tried to glue it, and it'll probably work, but I found one on Amazon that'll be here tomorrow, so I'm not even going to put this one back in and have to take it all back apart again. And then the biggest one, the one I'm most upset about is the glove box lid, because it's in good shape for as old as it is. I was kind of wanting to get a new one because it's a little weathered here at the top and it looks a little older, but I snapped it off right there, this piece here. And it's my own fault. I had it down while I had the dash out here in the seat, and I was reaching through that hole to pick up the box, and I was leaning my elbow right here and pushed too hard, broke it off. I found one. It was about $50, $60 shipped. I don't know what shape it's in. It looked good in the pictures. I'm hoping it's at least as good as mine. Or I can try removing these screws and taking this plastic centerpiece out and moving it over to keep my color piece. We'll see how that goes. But that was the 3 casualties of the process. Oh, and the battery. I've had this thing sitting on that charger for 3 weeks, almost a month. And I even had it running for about 20 minutes earlier, and as soon as I shut it off and went to start it again, it was nothing. It's like 9 volts. I smoked the battery. My fault. I left the doors open. Dome light ran it completely flat. And sometimes they just don't come back from that. So that's going to be another probably $100, $120. Things get expensive, but we're making progress. So, matter of fact, I just got a notification that this was delivered, so I'm going to go grab that out of the mailbox, see how that looks, and then I'll probably put the grill back on, because we held pressure. I don't have to worry about any of these down here anymore. They're doing what they're supposed to do, so I can get the grill put back on. Everything under the hood is back together the way it's supposed to be. and then maybe go get a battery. Yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go get the glove box done. We'll have to check it out. All right, got the new lid here. It actually looks to be in really good shape. There's a few little minor scuffs here and there, but again, it's 35 years old. Need to clean the latch a little bit. Seems to work. This parts are good. It's got the little straps. I'm happy with that. Really am. And they packed it well. Look at this. This is all packing that was from that fairly not fragile item, but they packed the shit out of it. Like, I've ordered high-end electronic devices that weren't packed that well. This buyer, I don't even know who the buyer is. I just bought it off of eBay, the best one I could find, but they are on point, man. They are doing it right. That is packed in there. Anyway, I'm gonna get a little hydration and then get back on it, and we'll see how this thing looks. All right. So the new cover is a slightly darker red. It more matches the top of the dash as opposed to the face of the dash, which I don't know why it's two-tone. I don't remember my truck back in high school being two-tone. I thought it was all red, but like these parts are lighter red, and then you got the darker red, and then you got the lighter red down here, and the two-tone in the door. But anyway, this one wasn't the light red, but it also wasn't the dark red. So now at least it matches that. Closes well, hangs right. I've still got to put the liner in here after I replace, because that switch for the door goes in here. So I've got to get down there to plug it in. Little plugs right here. So once I get that in, I can put the cup for the glove box back in, but it closes, the light turns off. That's good. All right, interior's back together except for that switch and putting that back in. So once, I'm gonna go ahead and put the grill back on and I guess pull the battery. I'd try to maybe jump it off so I can drive it over there and have them change it. I'd rather drive it over there. But anyway, all right, I'm gonna unhook all of these gauges, put the grill back on, making progress. Looks like today's the day we get to drive it again. Only have 3 extra screws so far. All right. Well, guys, she's back together. She's running. I had to jump it off because the battery's still shot, but everything seems to be good. No lights, no errors. AC's blowing cold. Controls are lit up the way they're supposed to. I'm fixing to take it to the parts house and get the battery replaced. And that should be it on this one. It's unfortunate that I lost the battery, but I don't know how old the battery was. It may have been on its last legs anyway. But yeah, I'm gonna run and get a new battery, and then we can call this one done. Mark it off the list. Well, guys, you really can't make this shit up. I made it a half a mile from the house, and something let loose under the hood. And I come to go investigate and found that the high pressure sensor blew out of the back of the compressor. I have no idea where it went, but I lost all the Freon that I just put in there. So yeah. What? I don't understand. I'm gonna go get the battery changed because I'm already out. I can't shut it off because it won't start back up. To order another one of those sensors, and I don't know, maybe I had too much pressure. I didn't put that much in it. But yeah, we just lost all of it because that blew out. It's gone. All right. Well, I went to the parts house, got the new battery. When we pulled the battery out, we found the high pressure switch. It was wedged down in here, but unfortunately the seal also left the chat, and I don't have any that are the right size. I found another snap ring, which is the other part I missed, but none of these seals are big enough to fit, and I don't have one. So I guess I'm gonna have to order a whole new sensor just for the seal. When that one took a ride. That one may be damaged anyway. So I'm gonna go ahead and order one. Hopefully we'll get it in soon. Maybe I can find it on Amazon, get it tomorrow or something, and get this shit knocked out, because I'm kind of frustrated right now. But anyway, it is what it is. Got to do what you got to do. So I'll order some parts and check back with you when I can. All right, new sensor has arrived. It did come with the seal. I put a little bit more oil through the compressor there, just because I know I removed a lot previously in the video, but when that thing blew out, I'm sure it blew all the oil out of the system. So I put a couple ounces back in there using a funnel and just turning the compressor by hand to let it feed. Got the new seal in place. I'm going to drop the sensor in here. Put this clip back on and make sure that it goes on there correctly and tight. The old clip had been on there for a while, and no idea why it blew out. But anyway, I'm going to put the new one in, and then we should be good. I'll start vacuuming it down. We've been through this process a dozen times together, so I'm just going to get it done. If I run into problems or more things go crazy like they just did, then I'll update you guys. But if not, then I'll catch back up with you when it's working. So here we go. Well, guys, I know I said I wasn't going to be back unless something weird happened or something interesting happened. And since I'm back, you can kind of assume that something weird happened. So previously, I thought I had the truck fixed. I took it for a drive. The high pressure valve, or the high pressure switch in the compressor, blew out on the road. I ordered a new one, new seal, new valve, or new sensor, new C-clip. Got that all installed. Started the fill process, and it started out good. Now, mind you, this entire system worked fine through the whole fill process and everything until I drove it last week. And so now I'm refilling it again, and I'm running into problems. So first on the problem list is the controller in the dash keeps blinking the lights for the vents, to move the vents up and down, or the hot cold. I don't know if that's related to the other issue or if that's just that controller is bad, but I'm going to have to send that back. I'm going to have to contact eBay and contact the seller and get that returned, because that was really expensive. And if it's not going to work, then I'm going to send it back. But the other problem is the high pressure side of this system is obnoxiously high. And I've got a couple of videos of each that I can put in here so you can see what's going on. So I know some of the reasons for the high pressure side being so low is a restriction or a bad compressor or damaged compressor. I don't think the compressor ran long enough without any oil, because as soon as it popped, I turned the air conditioner off. And now I went down and got the battery replaced, and when I got back in the truck, the AC turned back on because the battery had been disconnected. But at that point, there wasn't any pressure in the system, so the compressor should not have been running. And it was only a couple of minutes, even before I got out of the parking lot, I turned it off. The other option could be, like I said, a restriction, and it could be, I guess, that orifice tube that I got. It was a $20 orifice tube that's supposed to be better for high ambient temperatures, and I don't know if it's clogged up or if it's just not right for the system. It's not quite hot enough. I mean, it's close to the 90s, so I figured it would work around here, but I'm not sure what to do next. I'm going to have to dig into it and figure out what's going on. And that's really unfortunate, because I just filled the system, but the high pressure side jumping up as high as it is, it's bogging down the compressor so hard that it's making the belt squeal. It's not cooling. There's something wrong. And the only other thing I could think of is, in order to get a little bit of oil back into the system without opening up one of the other connections and risking damaging the seal, I fed oil into where that sensor goes in the compressor and turned the compressor by hand to draw the oil into the compressor and into the system. I don't think I hydrolocked the compressor because that's the way you have to fill it when you buy it new. You have to fill it, through the back anyway. And I turned it, like I said, enough to get it into the system and through the compressor. So I don't think it's hydrolocked. I think if that happened, it would stop completely. But I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna have to drain the Freon out of it again, tear it all apart again, and figure it out again. So I'll let you guys know what I find. But right now I'm stumped. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know why. It's been over a year, honestly, that I've been fighting with this air conditioner system in this truck, and it needs to get fixed. It needs to. I need the air conditioning. Well, guys, I come out here and fired it up again this morning, hoping maybe like the garage fairies came along and fixed it for me while I was gone, but they didn't. It's still doing the same thing. It's over 400 PSI on the high side. The belt squealing, the control in the dash is throwing a bunch of weird error lights and stuff. So I think my plan is going to be to go ahead and change out that controller in the dash first, just to make sure that it's not causing all of these problems. I don't think it would be causing the compressor to run super high and not shut off, but I'm going to change that first, because if my controller starts doing the weird arrow stuff, then I know it's not the controller. It's something, a wire or something I messed with in the dash whenever I had to pull the dash out. So I'm going to do that first and see what happens, and then we'll go from there. New controller is in, or old controller is in. It's not doing the weird light up with the arrows and stuff like the other one was, but it's still overpressurizing the system. As you can hear, it just started slipping the belt. Nicely engaged the compressor, and it's over 450 PSI on the high side. That's ridiculous. I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to shut it down, and I guess we got to figure it out. But it looks like a combination of the controller and the a blockage of some sort in the system. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pull out the orifice tube out of the condenser. I'm going to lose all the Freon again, but we'll be able to tell a lot when we pull that out, because if it's coated in like black soot or residue or whatever, then we know that compressor ran dry and destroyed itself. But if it's clear, then I don't know what the clog is. So pull it out and see what's going on. Maybe switch over to the one that was in there, the standard one. I don't want to, because I want the benefits of the high ambient temp orifice tube, but it doesn't seem to be working with this system. So I'm going to pull that one out and have a look at it and see what's going on, see if I can identify what the clog is, and go from there. So I got to pull the grill off again and evacuate the Freon. It's going to be a little while, but I'll pick you guys back up whenever I pull that thing out, and we'll have a look at it. All right, I got the system evacuated. Got this connection taken apart. We're going to pull the orifice tube out right now and have a look at it. I wanted you guys to see it as I see it and see what's going on here. So let's see if we can get a hold of it and get it out of there. It's a little different shape than the other one, so harder to get a hold of. Definitely fits in the tube very snugly. Wow, I didn't expect it to be that hard to pull out. Well, guys, the orifice tube just broke off in the condenser. Half of it went flying across the room. So it's definitely not any good anymore. As you can see, this is all that's left of it. But the rest of it's still in that tube. So I don't know what to do now. Now we've got to pull the condenser. You can't make this stuff up. It's just hit after hit after hit. This is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely. I don't know how to get that out of there. I really don't, without destroying the condenser. So, I'll pick you guys back up when I figure it out. All right? All right. So able to get the rest out. It was just the screen part. It doesn't have a significant amount of buildup on it, so I don't think the compressor went down. It's got some oil on it though. I don't know why it would have clogged up. So I guess Maybe there's oil in the condenser. It should flow through this and flow around the system. I mean, the oil's got to go everywhere, so I don't know why the orifice tube would stop it, but at least I got it out. So I'm going to go from there and see what happens. All right, got the original orifice tube back in. I put a little bit of oil back in there just because I lost a little bit evacuating the system. So that's back in. I went ahead and pulled both of these connectors and used the air compressor to blow through this to make sure there wasn't anything in there, and the air went through it just fine. So I don't think there's a blockage there. I think it was just that orifice tube was just wrong for this system. At least I hope so. I was really excited about the idea of having one that's designed for this area and for the heat that we have, but I guess it's not working with this system being pieced together and converted from R12 to R134. But anyway, I've got everything reconnected and I'm pulling the vacuum on it now. It's looking pretty good. It's pulling down pretty nice. I'm going to let that run for about 30 minutes and then seal it up and let it sit. Hopefully everything stays tight, and if so, I think I have at least one. Yeah, I've got one full can left. You guys got to look at this. Look around. There's Freon there. There's Freon there. I've already thrown away a bunch. This has been AC Central, really. I've got a dryer laying here. So many of these little green seals all over everything. I know the shop is messy. It's been a very frustrating process. So I haven't really been diligent in going back and cleaning up after myself. So that'll be another project once I get done. So I'm going to let this thing vacuum down. Probably go get some more Freon, a couple of more cans while I'm waiting, and then hopefully refill it and see what happens. I left the dash apart for now to see if once I get the orifice tube working the way it's supposed to, if the controls start working the way they're supposed to. These other, the ones with the max button, because I really would prefer that. So that's kind of the game plan. So vacuum it down, get it ready to refill. Once I refill it, see how it works, and if it works correctly, switch back to that controller and see if it still works correctly. That's the plan. That's what we're going to do. So for now, it's a waiting game. I'll pick you guys back up whenever we're ready. Just a quick check-in for you guys. I've got 2 cans of Freon into the system, 24 ounces. Normally it says to start with about 30, but I'm taking my time and bringing it up slowly. It seems to be working. The condenser is warm. Everything else is cold. Pressures are much more where they should be. The high pressure is not outrageous, so I think it was that orifice tube. Still on the old original controller, but I'm getting about 30 degrees difference in temperature just at idle. So that's pretty good. That's better than we had the last time. Before the other orifice tube, we were only getting about 20. No, wait a minute. Look at that again. No, we're only getting 20 degrees. My quick math is not very good. So while it's working, and it seems to be working correctly, I'm going to switch back to the other controller and see if it does anything weird, or if it cools better. So I'm gonna do that real quick, just plug and play, and then we'll see what happens. Well guys, the truck's been running a while with the windows up, everything sealed up. The new controller, it started doing the blinky thing going to the side when I first turned everything on, but it hasn't done it since. But I'm still only getting not even 20 degrees. And it's been running a while. I put a little bit more Freon in there. It should be plenty for the system. The pressures look right. It's really hot out here. It's like 95 in the garage, so the pressure should be like 50 to 55 on the low side, and it's right at 50. And then the high side's bouncing around 225, 250. I mean, it's working. You got cold stuff here, you got hot stuff here. The condenser is not super hot, but it's warm. mean, it's doing its job, it's just not doing it very well. But at this point, I'm kind of gun shy to mess with it anymore, because every time I seem to mess with it, it just causes me more heartache and more money. So not really sure what to do next. I know this is no airflow, it's sitting still. This is worst case scenario, but it should get better than 20 degrees across the system. So I'm not really sure what's going on. But I mean, it feels good in here, but it's 79. And we're shaded, right? So if you're sitting out in the sun, in the heat, it's not going to keep up. So I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board, I guess, and figure out what's going on. But at least it's back to where it was before we broke it, I guess, if you want to look at it that way. So that's where we're at. All right, guys, we're back on this again, and I'm hoping this is the last entry for this video, because this AC has been grueling. As you all know, I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm not a professional AC person. I'm just a guy with a bunch of cars that work on them myself. So I have to learn as I go, and I'm trying to pass that information on to you guys. So I've done a lot of research since the last section of this video, and I've learned that the orifice tube specifically is very important to the AC system's functionality and efficiency, specifically the size of the orifice tube based on what type of coolant or what type of freon you're using. So the orifice tube that's currently in the truck, the one that I put back in there, I think is for R12. The problem with that, and the reason I say I think, is because there are different colors. You've got different colors of orifice tubes. Like this one's white. This one is white as well. Notice they're both white. The one in there is black. And from what I've read, the color is supposed to signify the size of the orifice, but it's not standardized. So it's hit or miss. And then on top of that, it says that it could also be the O-ring color, these being green, this one being black. The green ones are supposed to be for 134A. So it's kind of hit or miss as to what you're going to get. So what I did is I went and ordered that same, the one for the high ambient temperatures area, because it worked really well until everything blew up. It's kind of funny to say that, but I think what happened is this was clogged, because it come out in 3 pieces. So I'm going to replace it with the same one. We're going to sneak up on the freon levels, put a little bit at a time in until it starts cooling, and then let it ride. Hopefully it doesn't do like it was doing before and start with the super high pressure. That's another thing that concerns me, because I would have thought the high pressure switch would have shut everything down before it hit 450 PSI. But okay, again, I'm a novice. I'm learning as I go. So I'm going to pull this orifice tube out. We're going to put this one in. I'm going to go ahead and get the vacuum started. I'm going to go get some more freon, and then we're going to try it out. And I really hope this is the last installment of this saga, because I just want air conditioner and I want to drive my truck, and that's all I want. So if this doesn't work, it's going to have to be a professional, because I'm out of ideas. So yeah, I'm going to get started. I'll catch up with you guys when I get some progress, and I'll let you know. Let's go. All right, so we're back out here on the old truck. Yesterday didn't go very well. At least I didn't think it did. We're only getting about 15 degrees across the system, maybe. So I let it set. It was hot. I was tired. I wasn't into it. So I just let it set. I come back out today, fired it up. Seems to be running pretty good. I put a fan on the radiator here to kind of give it some airflow. It looks like right now we're getting a little over 20 degrees across there. I mean, that's pretty decent. 60 degrees out of the vents, if it'll stay that way, is not bad. The temperature of the pressures look pretty good. A little over 40 on the low side, and bouncing between 175 and 200 on the high side. It is pretty warm out here today. It's not as hot as it has been. About 96, 98 inside the garage. I was really hoping for a better result with that orifice tube we put in, and changing out this and all the other stuff we did and having to rebuild everything. But I guess that's just what I'm going to get. 20 degrees across the system. It's almost down to 60. But that is inside the garage with shade, without direct sunlight, so sitting in traffic's probably going to be interesting. But I mean, the phase change is working. This thing is hot, like, it's pretty warm. You can't hold your hand on it very long. And then this side, of course, is already nice and cold and wet. It's wet back there. It's even wet on the pump itself, where it's changing the pressures over. The belt is squeaking a little bit at startup. I think maybe I glazed it with that compressor sliding so much the other day. Probably need to put a new belt on it. Really, I think this is about as good as we're going to get. Which is unfortunate. I was hoping for 30 to 40 degrees across the system, but I'll have to deal with 20 for now, until I find something else. The unfortunate side of this type of work is this truck is old enough that most air conditioning shops won't even really mess with it. It's 35 years old. They don't really want to mess with this old stuff. They want to work on the new stuff anyway. So got to find somebody that's willing to take it. But I'm going to take it for now. I'm going to put everything back together, put the grill back on. I did contact the seller on eBay about that controller that was in the dash. It's not working. Even now, with everything working the way it's supposed to, it's still lighting up the controls incorrectly, so we don't have to recirculate like we're supposed to. So that will help too. So once I get my money back on that, I'll try to find another one. But for now, we're just going to have to roll with it. So we'll knock this one off the list. Well, guys, I guess we're going to finish that one off here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I know this was a long one. I haven't processed this video yet, so I don't know it's going to be a long video. And if you stuck through it, if you watched all of it along with me, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate the support. I guess for now, I'm just going to have to deal with mediocre air conditioner until I read something else or something else catches my interest and we try something new. So far, I've done everything that I know to do, and I think everything is right. It's just not very good. So we just got to live with it. Hopefully it cools back down in the next month or so, and yeah, it's not going to. It's Texas. It's just, we're preheating. We're not even there yet. So it's like early July right now. So it's going to get hotter. I just have to be careful driving in the afternoons and the evenings or whatever. But yeah, thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. If any of you guys have any suggestions or any comments or anything I should try, anything I did wrong, please speak up. Put it down in the comments. I'll read them. Like I said many times, I'm not a professional. I'm not a mechanic. I've never went to school for this. I just kind of figure it out as I go and hope that I do it right, along with a bunch of research online. So yeah, I'm just like a lot of you guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just trying to do my best. If you guys do like this content, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be working on the OBS quite a bit. I've got some stuff lined up I want to do with the Vet. Looks like we need to change the radiator on the Jeep Eugene. So I've got some stuff I need to do. So there'll be some more videos coming pretty soon. Hopefully I don't die of heat stroke. So yeah. But for now, we're going to finish it off. You guys have a good one and rock on.